Hey everyone, welcome to another video. My name's Steve, and if you're new to my channel, these videos are all about digging deeper into the cost of ownership. Currently that is on my Porsche 992 Carrera 2, but today I'm going to do a video and we are going to max out the Porsche GT3 on the web configurator as it's just been added this week. Now we're not just going to max out the GT3 today on the web configurator because quite frankly there isn't too much extra you can add to these cars. They're stripped back, they're meant to be race cars for the road. However, it's still a Porsche and you can still add quite a little bit of value on there if you really want to. But we're really going to take a look at the comparison among the range with the other cars, and I'm going to take a little look at which one I would probably buy instead of the GT3 because really it's going to be very difficult to get your hands on one of these cars. So what is your other options? So to start with, let's just take a quick look at the car's cousins within the 992 range, and the closest performing cars there at the moment are the Porsche Turbo S and just the Turbo. Now you can see on that comparison on the screen there, we've got the cost at the top. There is no manual option on the Turbo, there is on the GT3, so I've compared it at the PDK level. Now the PDK on the GT3 is actually a 7-speed rather than an 8, but that starting price there is £123,100, including the VAT in the UK where I'm based. The cheapest out of the two Turbo models still comes in at just over £10,000, £11,000 more there. On the face of it, when you take a look at it, we're looking at 3.4 seconds there compared to the fastest time of 2.7 on the Turbo S. You're down on the top speed, you're down on the fuel consumption, and you are down on the PS. Having said all of that, this car is a race car for the road, so it looks like all the figures are bad on paper until you get to the Nurburgring time, and we're going to take a quick check at that after I've looked at comparing this car also to the 718 counterpart. Now looking at it in comparison to the 718 range there, the direct comparison at that level is going to be the GT4. Now in these three cars I can make a manual comparison because you can get those two cars in both a manual, so that is why I've lined them up side by side that way, and you can see you're getting half a second faster to the 0 to 60 against those two cars for your extra 110 PS over the GTS 4 litre. I would still probably take a good look at that GTS 4 litre as soon as I can get out there and do that, which I'm limited in the UK at the moment with the way things are in the world. I'm going to go and see if I can get a test drive in one and see just what it's like because I own the 718 Cayman. Now really for the bit that everybody usually does the comparison on whenever they're looking at a new car, how fast has it gone around the ring? We're looking at three aspects on this car. One is the PS available on each car, the other is the unladen PDK model weight, and we are also then looking at the comparable Nurburgring time. If we go with the GTS 4 litre to start with, that one comes in at 7 minutes and 40 seconds. The GT4, which is its race car brother, is in at 7 minutes and 28. I couldn't find a one for the Turbo, but the Turbo S went through at 7 minutes and 17 seconds. And the GT3 that has just been released has been announced at 6 minutes 55.2 seconds. Incidentally, just for reference, I did find a time for the 992 Carrera S. So that car sits there between the GT4 and the GTS 4 litre. Looking at all those times in the line there, you can see Porsche seem to manage to make these things very linear in their numbers to justify probably their place in the range. It also seems to coincide with price and a little bit on the PS, although the GT3 does stand out with less PS there, but it's a much lighter car and it's obviously set up to do that as a specific track car. So there you go then, there's a little bit of background on where the car sits in the range, what its numbers are like in comparison and how fast it is compared to the other models. Let's take a little look at what you can actually get on the car that's a bit different to maybe the standard 992. So with this GT3 you get the option of the manual or the PDK is a free cost. You can choose either or, and the PDK is a 7-speed. This 7-speed PDK manual style handle also allows you to shift over and move into a manual plus and minus shift, the same as you can with the paddles on the steering wheel. When it comes to the aerodynamics out the back, rather than having the fixed fin on the back or the raising fin, you have the new swan neck design. You have a carbon bonnet on the front of the car, and there's actually some quite cool slides on the website that I'm going to show you now. They show you a little bit about the weight saving on the car and the new design. So under that first slide there, they're showing you quite a lot of the lightweight construction on the car and sort of how the body's made up. You've got an explanation on the carbon panels on the car there, and it shows you on the diagram in blue which ones are carbon fiber. And then you're moving on to a lightweight glass saving section. which includes the side windows and rear screen on the new GT3, and it is highly durable for scratch resistance. The other thing I noticed when I was looking through the information on the car is where I have the digital dash with the two 7-inch displays either side of the rev counter. These new displays on the GT3 are giving you another race mode that gives you a slightly different layout, and I'll show you that now. So as you can see there in race mode, they ditch the two dials on either side and they just give you straight information, quite clear and obvious on either side of that rev counter, so you can drive along in race mode with all that information available to you at a glance. So those are the interesting points that I found about the car that's a bit different to the normal 992 on either my version or the turbos. If we take a little look at the max out now, I'll be able to show you exactly how I managed to get the car over the standard price, and then I've done a couple of other regions so that you can see, as per the other videos I've done, just how much extra it is to order one of these cars somewhere else in the world. So we're starting out there at £123,100 if you just go with a solid colour. But if you want to go on the new special Shark Blue, you're looking at a £2,500 extra, but I think that new Shark Blue is quite nice. It's obviously replacing the outgoing Miami Blue that they discontinued. You've only got one choice of wheels on this car, and the interior is basically black, and you can highlight it with contrasting stitching. You've got a choice of normal-ish sport seats and the buckets. You can also get the Club Sport option on this car for free if you want to add it on, and that'll give you the roll cage in the back, replacing the back seats that are already missing on this car anyway. There is other things that you can add, like the rear camera, carbon roof, some other bits and pieces, and I can tell you by adding them all that the total price comes to what is on the screen there of £157,665. As usual, I think I've maxed it out. If you can beat it, let me know. I did take a look, and I couldn't, at the time of recording the video, actually configure the car in the USA, Japan or Abu Dhabi, which is 3 places I've configured a 992, where I was showing you different options available in different regions. I have been able to do New Zealand, and I'll put that one on the screen, and that one comes out at 420,910 New Zealand dollars. At today's exchange rate, that came in at £234,034. Home of the car at Germany, that's the other one I could do that was quite easy to find. I have added as much on there as possibly can, again with the language barrier causing me an issue with the Google Translate, but that car comes in at €223,097. In pounds, it is 197,974. If those two regional comparisons interested you and you would like to see more about it on a 992, there is a video that I'll put up on a card on the screen now that will show you the regional differences. About 7 different countries in the world that I compared my exact car build, see what came standard there and see what the cost difference was in those areas. I've owned my 992 for nearly 12 months now, so I am able to start giving updates on what it's cost me and probably what the car's worth, so I will be following up with videos on those next. So if you want to subscribe and see those, don't forget to hit the button, and if you liked today's video, please give it a like, and I will see you again in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye.